Hey, what's going on, guys? This is my yearly video where I talk about the albums that are coming out that I'm looking forward to. I always like to share what's on my radar, but I love these videos because you guys leave comments below telling me what you're looking forward to. I can't keep on top of everything, so your comments are very important on this video specifically because it puts me on to stuff that I might miss. But hopefully you can get something out of it as well. So I'm going to share with you the albums coming out that I'm looking forward to, as well as some of the rumored albums without either titles or release dates that are also hopefully coming out this year. And let's talk about it in the comments. If you have a collection of records that you're looking to sell and you want to sell it in bulk and help out the store, I'm always willing to give a fair price bulk offer. So send me an email, link is below. No matter where you are, as long as you're in the USA, I'm happy to get the records from you to me. Let's talk. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Lots of good stuff coming out soon. But without further ado, let's hit the list. First up, we have Rebecca Black's Let Her Burn. I know it might be weird to see Rebecca Black on this list, but if you haven't been following her career, she's actually kind of crushing it in the pop world. She's put out a lot of great collabs, a lot of great singles over the past few years. She's come a long way since Friday, which we all know from the viral video many years ago. She is an absolute talent, and this is her debut record. The singles she put out so far are excellent. I feel like she has a lot to prove based on the chip on her shoulder from being kind of mocked on the internet years ago as, you know, just a kid trying to have fun and making a video that went viral before viral videos were really that huge of a thing. I think she's really talented. I got to meet her and actually co-hosted a game show on SiriusXM with her once. Really weird happenstance. It was a lot of fun. She was very sweet. I think she's extremely talented, and I'm very excited to see what her debut album has in store for us. Then, of course, we have Paramore's This Is Why. I am 10 out of 10 excited for this album. Paramore is incredible. I love just about every record they've ever put out, and the direction they took in their final album, After Laughter, prior to this one, is an amazing kind of tropical pop experience that, while having very dark lyricism and depressing lyrics, had a very poppy instrumentation behind it, and it proved to be a really unique listen, especially from a band that started as a lot more traditionally pop punk. This new album is promising to be another sonic change, as the singles they've released so far are very different than the stuff they've been doing in the past. Little talking heads at times, bordering on some interesting funk sounds. I'm super stoked for this. I think it's going to be easily one of my albums of the year, and I'm very excited to hear what Haley and the boys have for us. Pierce the Veil's coming out with Jaws of Life, their first album in quite a long time. I always knew of Pierce the Veil. I think they're from Jersey, where I went to high school, but I never listened to them growing up. They somehow missed me completely. And when I was at When We Were Young last year, I got to see them perform live, and it was also my exposure to their music. And I was blown away, not just by the musicianship, but by just the stage presence and the energy. Everything about it was stellar, so I've now gone back and listened to most of their stuff. It's all really good. If you like kind of emo pop punk that has that kind of edge to it, Pierce the Veil is for you, and I can't believe that I slept on them for so long. This album in particular I'm excited for because they're recruiting a lot of interesting guests, including the drummer from Third Eye Blind, Brad, and Chloe Moriando, who I've sung praises about on this channel many times before. They went on record saying that this record is supposed to be a little grungier than a lot of stuff in the past, which appeals to me, obviously, as you guys can imagine. So very excited for this release. Kali Uchis is putting out Red Moon and Venus. I am a big fan of her as well. I've only fallen into her music last year, but everything she's put out thus far is extremely catchy. She has a wonderful dreamy R&B sensibility about her music, and I think that this one is going to be excellent if it's anything like the one single that she's dropped. Definitely one to keep out for if you like R&B. M83 is back with Fantasy. I didn't really love a lot of their stuff for a while. I liked a few songs on Junk, but overall it wasn't nearly as strong as some of that mid-career output like Saturdays Equals Youth, and of course Hurry Up We're Dreaming, their magnum opus. The new song they put out from Fantasy really has a Hurry Up We're Dreaming vibe to it, in my opinion. While not quite as good as the best songs from that album, the fact that he's kind of returning to that sound is very exciting, and I'm really stoked to hear if this album, as a full cohesive piece, which, you know, he tends to do quite well, will live up to expectation. Then we have Yves Tumor, Praise the Lord Who Chews, but which does not consume. I can't believe I got that in one without looking down at my notes. What a long album title. Yves Tumor is someone that was not on my radar until last year. I knew about the music. I always thought it was a little too experimental for me in concept. I listened to some of it throughout the years, but it didn't really do anything for me. And then I saw them open for 9 Inch Nails, and the show was phenomenal. What stage presence, what energy, really good performers, and that turned me on to listening to the full albums up till that point. Everything is really good. If you like experimental pop, with an edge to it. Again, this is definitely something you should check out if you don't know it already. And then one of the albums of the year, already guaranteed top 3 slot in my end of year list, just because it's Boy Genius, the record. They don't even need an album title. They're just gonna let the music speak for itself, and I love that. Boy Genius, if you don't know who they are, they consist of Lucy Dacus, Julian Baker, and Phoebe Bridgers. And it's the three of them forming a supergroup, a sad supergroup of sad girls making beautiful music, and I'm so excited. Their EP was stellar. I got to go see them on the Boy Genius tour last time, where they performed 3 solo sets as the individual artists, and then the entire EP in full. One of the most memorable shows of my lifetime, and the album they're putting out is promising to be just as good. The first 3 singles each prominently feature one of the 3 girls on each track, which I thought was cool, and each one is phenomenal in a different way. They all sound completely different, and I think all 3 of their sounds blending into one cohesive group is a really beautiful thing that works quite well. So I think most people are excited about the Boy Genius record. Then we have Metallica, 72 Seasons. I haven't really been a big Metallica fan since the heyday, basically since, you know, the Black Album and prior. I've liked songs here and there. I like a few things on Load and Reload, and, you know, ultimately they occasionally come out with a pretty good song, but Lux Eterna, the first track they dropped from this record, really brought me back into the fold. I thought it was excellent. Someone commented in a video, in a comment, they said it sounded like Megadeth, which I thought was funny because I re-listened to Lux Eterna, and now I can't unhear it as like a pseudo Megadeth song, which is interesting if you know the whole background between Dave Mustaine and Metallica and all that stuff. But that being said, very excited. This seems like almost a return to form for Metallica, and if the whole album can maintain that level of energy and bite, I think this is going to be the best Metallica album in years. And then, of course, 4 days after my birthday, The National is releasing First 2 Pages of Frankenstein. I can already tell you, you know, spoilers, this is going to be my album of the year. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but the first single, Tropic Morning News, is a great return to the sound they had in the Trouble Will Find Me era with some of the newer sensibilities mixed in. It also features my dream catalog of featured artists. I mean, it has Sufjan Stevens, double Phoebe Bridgers features, and Taylor Swift, which I think is a really, really cool way to get more people to listen to The National, because now all the Swifties are going to listen to this, and the numbers that they're going to do on this album are going to be absurd because of it. Good. More people should appreciate what I believe is to be the best band of all time. But really excited for this record. I really think it's going to blow me away. I also loved I Am Easy to Find, which a lot of the fans did not like because of the extra vocalists. I loved that aspect of it. I thought it really made the album special. So I'm excited for more guest vocalists on this record, and I'm excited to see what Matt and the gang give us on this album. And then let's do a couple rumored ones that are albums that are not necessarily guaranteed, but have been teased or might come out based on context clues. We'll see. First being Frank Ocean. Frank is headlining Coachella, his first show in many, many years. That could mean there's new music on the way. New music could potentially mean that there's an album on the way. It's Frank, so he may never release an album again. We never know. Frank is a complete enigma, but all of us, speaking on behalf of the entire music community, please, Frank, please, more music. Childish Gambino, which was once a retired moniker, has come back. He just recently on a red carpet said that he is still making music as Gambino, despite the fact that he said he was done with the project, and that he's actively been recording with secret people in private. So he said not only is it coming back, he's making music right now. Will we get to hear it this year? I don't know, but I really hope so. Peggy, JPEG Mafia, said that he is going to pull a King Gizzard and drop 3 albums this year. That's pretty ambitious, but if anyone could do it, it's JPEG. Really amazing experimental hip-hop. If you don't know him, he manages to be off the wall sonically, but still extremely relatable and catchy and able to be listened to by any fan of hip-hop, in my opinion. One of those albums is rumored to be the collab with Danny Brown, which for me, it could be hit or miss. I like Danny Brown on features. I've said this famously on the channel before. I don't love his full projects. His voice can be a little grating for me over the course of a whole project. But I think maybe Peggy's production and intersplicing his verses could really make this a powerhouse project for me. Merciful Fate is supposed to be dropping an album. Now there's no release date, and I think a King Diamond solo album is coming first, but Merciful Fate is one of the best metal bands I've ever heard. I only got into them last year, and wow, King Diamond's vocals are insane. All of the Merciful Fate records, for the most part, are killer, and it's been a long time since a proper LP from them. I know they recently played some shows for the first time in a while, so this could be leading up to possibly a new record that has been teased on a couple blogs. This one might not happen, but if it does, I would be elated. A$AP Rocky's coming out with Don't Be Dumb. I really like A$AP Rocky. I didn't really get into him until the past couple of years either. I've always kind of been like into his singles and never really gave his full projects a listen. That was a mistake. They're all very, very good, and he is an extremely unique and talented rapper that is worth anybody's ear. So excited to hear and be a part of this rollout, which will be the first A$AP Rocky rollout that I'm actually actively excited for as it comes out. Westerman is supposed to put out a new record this year. Westerman is an amazing indie folk, indie pop artist. Very textured, beautiful music. If you like Jose Gonzalez, I feel like you would really like Westerman, and his recent album that he put out was just breathtaking, and this album hopefully will live up to that. Then we have Pink Pantheress, the TikTok star turned pop star. She actually lives up to the hype. Her music is a beautiful blend of kind of hyper pop and industrial sounds, and really just fusing a lot of elements that make it really intriguing in the state of music today. It doesn't lean on any of its influences sonically and make it feel redundant. It really kind of carves its own path. She's gonna be a huge star, and I'm excited for her first full-length album. She had an album come out, but it was like 22 minutes or something really short, so that's more of an EP to me. Hopefully we get a full length with some interesting features and it comes out this year. My Bloody Valentine. I feel like this is maybe the third video in a row where I've been like, can't wait for the new My Bloody Valentine album to come out, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But it's been teased for a long time that Kevin has, I think, 2 albums worth of material just waiting to come out. So maybe we'll get blessed if we want some shoegaze royalty to give us some new music. Maybe we won't, I don't know. And then of course, the new album by Blink-182, now that Tom has rejoined the band. I liked the initial single, and I'm really hoping that they kind of return to form and they put out something that's a little more like that kind of like self-titled era. I don't know though. All I know is that I'm glad the boys are back together and very excited to hear what they have for us this year. Those are my picks for albums that are coming out this year that I'm excited for. Make sure you drop a comment below. Let me know what you're excited for. I want to know what I should put on my radar, and hopefully 1 or 2 of these make it onto yours. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and of course there's more coming soon. Take it easy.